Everybody say biblical. This ain't about politics, what's happening in the Middle East. This ain't about gas prices. This is about the forsaking of the nation of Israel. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole thing's been set up to be. And I pray that America will be smart enough to begin to tell her, this is what I prayed this week. I said, God, give us some men with backbone in Congress, and give us some men with backbone in the Senate, and give us some men with backbone in the House of Representatives that looks at this man and says, no, we will not allow you to take us away from Israel. We will stand with our nation. If we don't get some people that are going to bring us out of this, we're going in so deep, there is no getting out. I mean, you need to be praying. Even if you ain't going to vote, you need to be praying. God, give us officials. Give us some congressmen. Give us some senators that'll walk in there and say, you are not going to turn us from Israel. Israel is our blessing. If we don't get those people in office. So when you consider voting, find out how they feel about Israel before you ever pull a lever. Before you ever push a button, because Israel is your life. I know that's not popular, but it's true. How many's with me? I want to get this across to you. Luke chapter 1, verse 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations. Now, who's talking here? The Son of God. Jesus Christ himself. And this is what he said the last days are going to be like. Listen closely. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, with times when men and women don't know what to do. The sea and the waves roaring. Now I want to share something with you. He's not literally talking about the seas as far as the waters. He does talk about those, but here's what the seas have already represented, always represented in the book of Revelation. They represent people. The seas of people. In the book of Revelation, they represent people. So this is what he said. People are going to be roaring. Nations are going to be in distress. Men's hearts failing them for fear. And for looking after those things which are coming up on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Just a thought. That's why I'm here today, to put you to thinking. Just a thought. Could it be that these tornadoes and these rains and these floods and these disasters that we're witnessing everywhere, could this actually be the results of the heavens being shaken? This is what they said when the earthquake took place in China. It moved the entire earth. And this was their prediction. You're going to witness things in the weather that you have never seen. Because this thing is out of control now. And look at what's taking place. I've never seen so much rain. The Mississippi has now reached record levels for the first time in history. It has never been this high before. A tornado swept through an unheard of place in Pennsylvania just last week. They had no idea where it came from. The man was crying as they interviewed him and said, I don't know what to do. He said, it was just like I heard something, and he said, then everything was gone. Already been more earthquakes, more tornadoes this year than in the history of all the world has ever known. He said the heavens would be shaken. Are you hearing what I'm preaching? Just bear with me, because I want you to get all this. Could it be that what we're seeing in the weather is the heavens being shaken? This is the second thing Jesus said. And there will be distress of nations. The word distress means anguish and anxieties. Could it be that the earthquakes and the tsunamis, the political protests like we're witnessing in Libya and other countries of the world, And now they are predicting that major earthquakes for the United States and many of the other countries of our world. Could this be the result? Could this be the distress of nations? Let me go just a little farther. Look at verse 26. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Do we understand that congestive heart failure is now the #1 killer, not only in America, but in every country of the world? Congestive heart failure. Men's hearts failing them for looking after the things that are coming upon the earth. The medical field wants to blame it on obesity. Too many people are overweight. It's not the overweight of the body that's killing people. It's the overweight of the mind. Too much to put in. Can't get it to all fit. My head's not big enough to contain all that's going on in the world around me. I can't put that in my mind. I can't get that in my thinking. The medical field wants to blame it on the lack of exercise, cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs. But Jesus said the #1 reason for heart failure is that men are afraid and looking after the things that are coming upon the earth. It's not obesity, it's not tobacco, it's not cigarettes. Sure, those things fight against you. But more people are dying because they just can't get control of their lives. Too much going on. Too many things happening. Let me give you this. Stress is now the #1 leading cause of congestive heart failure. Not overweight, not lack of exercise, but stress. How many of you live in a stressed world? Yesterday I was working here at the church, and we were building the puppet stage for tonight and getting it ready, and I worked several hours. Then we came in last night and practiced till around, it was almost 11 o'clock. And when I got home, I told Don, I said, I can't go anymore. I said, I just can't. I've got to go lay down. I can't go any farther. What had happened? Stress. The pushing of getting everything ready. The pushing of just life itself. Are y'all going through that? I looked at her yesterday morning and I said, I've got to mow today. I've got to build this stage. I've got to get the weed eating done. I've got to get this done. And when I started naming it all, and I said, there's no way. Then stress sets in and says, but it's got to be done. And I get overloaded. And she patted me on the shoulder this morning and said, slow down. I came in here, and of all things, the PA system was totally out of control. We didn't have any house speakers. We didn't have any sound. Everything was out of proportion. And for one solid hour, I threw my coat on this altar, and we worked with the sound just to get it up so we could have church this morning. This stress, ain't it, Charlie? That's what's killing people. The devil wants to just keep loading you with it, putting it on you. My wife said to me this week, she said, I love church so much, but she said, I dread what you'll have to do with that PA system when you get there. She said, it bothers me to see you so stressed, to know that you're working your fingers to the bone for 1 hour to get prepared for a service that some people won't even attend. But it's stress. Every moment, every hour of every day. And it's the #1 cause of congestive heart failure. Stress. Are you under it, Anthony? Yeah, you Are you under it, Mike? Yeah, you are. Pick any person in this building you want to. They're under stress, pressure. Jesus said that's the way it's going to be in the last days. You're going to be stressed out. Your mind's not going to want to contain all of it. You're going to want to go somewhere and bury your head in the sand and pretend it's going to go away, but it's not going away. Because when you get one pressure off, there will be another. Anybody hearing what I'm preaching? So Jesus said, here it is in a nutshell. Here's the things to watch for. Watch for signs in the heavens and the moon, in the sun and in the earth. Watch for things that you've never seen happen before in the weather patterns. Watch for those things to take place. Watch for distress of nations. Watch as nations battle to just stay alive, and nations battle with all kinds of different things going on in their lives. We battle one thing here, another nation over here is battling something else. We're all under distress of nations. And Jesus said, then take a look around you when you see men's hearts just stop beating because of the pressure they're under. Understand where you are. Understand where you're living. Think about what's coming next. Does anybody see it? Verse 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. What are we to watch for? Changes in the heavens. Distress on the earth. Men's hearts failing them. Congestive heart failure growing rapidly every day in young people and men and women 50 and 40 and 30. It's no longer the old people that are dying. It's people that are dying all around us, and it's because of the pressure. Just almost more than you can bear sometimes. Verse 28. And when you see these things begin to come to pass. He didn't say fulfilled. What's he referring to when he said, when you see these things begin to come to pass? What things? Changes in the heavens. Distress of nations. Men's hearts failing them for the fear of the things that are coming upon the earth. When you see these things begin to come to pass, lift up your head. This is what he said. Listen closely. I missed the key thing. He said, when you see all these things begin to happen, then look up. Look to Jesus. That's what he said. Look to me. And when you see all these things begin to come to pass, look to me. And lift up your head, for your redemption draweth nigh. In closing, the word redemption implies something that has been bought, paid for, and they return to claim. That's redemption. Something bought, paid for, and being reclaimed. What's about to happen? Something Jesus bought, something Jesus paid for, he's coming back to claim. Your redemption draweth nigh. Get your thinking right. This thing is coming to a close. One more thing. But as the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. For they were marrying and giving in marriage, eating and drinking, and what it literally says is they were partying, making merry, having a good time, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and they knew not until the flood came and took them all away. Listen closely. So shall it also be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. Just as the flood took them unaware, the coming of the Lord will take this world unaware. We'll be here and we'll be gone. And it's that close. Watch Israel, folks. I'm going to close with this as you stand. I'm getting you out here early today, believe it or not. Listen to me real close. Jesus said this, when all these things begin to come to pass, watch the fig tree. Have you know what he said? Watch the fig tree when it begins to bud leaves. That's the nation of Israel. He said when Israel begins to come back to life, the leader of Israel, the nation of Israel, the people of Israel, hold our blessing. How long will time last? How long will we stand with Israel?